And now on the line from Macroom County Cork is Niamh Hodge. Niamh, welcome to the programme.
Thank you very much.
Niamh, there was an article in the Irish Mail on last Sunday, about the latest news on an incident that happened in your back garden last December concerning a fox hunt. Can you tell us, for those listening who don't know the story, exactly what happened?
I will, of course. On St. Stephen's Day last year, about 2 o'clock, just walking into the sitting room here in the house, and a fox ran into the estate and ran across the green area just in front of the house. And I kind of thought it was a little bit strange to see one during the day, but then it dawned on me that there must be a hunt around, and lo and behold, within a couple of seconds, a pack of dogs came into the estate. Now the fox seemed to have run into the back of the house next door to me, which was empty at the time, and our house was back onto a field. There's a fence between us and the field, and it often happened in the night time that foxes would come into the usually coming over the walls and down through the gardens. So I just presumed he had got away. But after another minute, the dogs all started accumulating around the side of my house, and the noise was deafening. I had my baby here beside me. She was roaring, crying, and I couldn't hear her crying over the noise of the dogs. My partner went out and tried to chase the dogs out of the side of the house. There was between 25 and 30 dogs, all piled into an area about 10 foot by 12 foot, that kind of size. They were on top of the bins, on top of each other. They were everywhere. So he was out there. He was up on top of the bin with a brush, trying to get them back out. As they'd run out, my car was parked in the drive, they'd run out around the car and run back in the other side. There was no getting rid of them. It wasn't until they were down to about maybe 5 or 6 dogs left at the side that he noticed that the fox they were after getting the fox at the side. So at that stage, it was gone 2:15 at this stage, and there was still no people around. So I decided to ring the guards. I didn't know what else to do, so I rang the guard station in Macroom, and they said they'd send somebody up straight away. Just after I'd hung up, I could hear people coming into the estate. There was a couple of jeeps and a number of people standing around. They were calling the dogs. The dogs started heading back down to them. So I said, here, I'm going to just go down here and have a word with them, because it was totally unacceptable what happened. So as I was down there, it got a bit confrontational. I was driven at, I was roared at. There was plenty of shouting on both sides, to be honest. And within a couple of minutes, the guard had come up, and kind of things quietened down. Then he spoke to all of them, and he called up to the house here. We had a chat about it, showed him the fox there at the side. I had told the hunt that no uncertain terms, all they wanted back was the fox's body, but I told them no way, they weren't getting it, and they didn't have permission to come in on my property. So he got into this first, and they headed on away at that stage. So I did go down the following day, and I made a statement, and he proceeded to bring a case against them under the Control of Dogs Act. It was the only thing he could kind of really get them with.
This is the guard, yeah?
Yeah.
And you're saying the fox hunters actually wanted the fox back? Demanded the fox's body, yeah. God. We'll talk about the fox in a couple of minutes. I read an article last year from the same journalist, Craig Hughes, where you were quoted as saying that your children could have been in the garden at the time, and that one of your children was only 3 at the time. My baby was 9 months, and my next fella from that, he'd been in 3 in February. If St. Stephen's Day had been a fine day, all the kids in the estate, most of us are up here since the estate was built 18 years ago. The kids are all friends. They would have been outside on their Stanty bikes and, their toys and that. Now, I'm not saying for a minute that I think that the dogs would have attacked him, but if he had been around the side of the car there, on his little car, he would have been trampled. Those dogs only had one thing on their mind, and that was getting the fox. Nothing was going to get in their way. It's true to say that you have a love of animals in general, don't you, including dogs and foxes?
More so dogs. I have been involved with dog rescue since I had Cahill, my young fella. I kind of didn't have as much time for it as I did have, so I kind of, I don't foster or anything like that anymore. But before, I would have, that was mainly what I would have known about hunts, would have been the treatment of their dogs and things like that, and that's what I would have been concerned about. But now, since this, I've gone a lot more into it, into the wildlife side and, the aspect. The amount of people that have contacted me saying, things that have happened to them, things that they've been threatened, and that they don't want the hunting on their property, it's worrying their livestock, things like that. you know, it really woke me up to what's going on.
And according to the 2 articles I read by Craig Hughes in the Irish Mail on Sunday, the leader of the fox hunt, a man called John McSweeney, denied more than once initially that his dogs killed the fox, didn't he?
Oh yeah, complete denial. I mean, they said that I coaxed the dogs into the estate as well. I mean, even in the court case, when the charges were put to him and that, and you know, they said, the solicitor said straight away that it was, you know, that there were the facts of the case. But pretty much blamed the fox. Said that they didn't expect the fox to break through. There's a bypass in Macroom and it's been fenced off for it's a long time coming, but they're finally starting it, and where it's going to be is all fenced off. They didn't expect the fox to get through the fence to start with. I mean, the fence is 2 fields away from me. You know, like those dogs were out of control for a long time before they came in here. And then he said that that in 30 years of hunting, he's never seen a fox run into a housing estate. You know, everybody else's fault.
You were able to prove, though, weren't you, that the photograph you took of the dead fox was genuine?
Oh yeah, and because I didn't give the fox's body back to the hunters, I had the problem of what was I going to do with a dead fox. So the following morning, I rang one of the local vets here, Musbury Vets, and I just asked them if they were open and could they do anything for me. So they said that they could, you know, humanely have the fox's body destroyed. So I went down, €50 is what I paid for that. And I had a receipt for that, so that was kind of, you know, no denying. I had a fox's body, and it's not something I keep in my back garden.
The latest big news on the story is that John McSweeney was in court last week, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago today, actually, and he pleaded guilty, so I didn't have to give evidence or anything, and the judge asked him to pay €1,000 into the charity box, but he didn't record a conviction.
Okay. Will you live in Macroom? I don't know Macroom very well. It's outside Cork City, yeah? Yeah,
we're exactly halfway between Killarney and Cork City.
Okay. And is there one hunt in your kind of region, or is there more than one hunt, or what's the story?
There's the main hunt is Macroom Foxhounds. There are other hunts that come around this area. There's a number of hunts that would be around this area. Further out along then, like you are in countryside, or a town in the middle of the countryside. So, you know, further you go out, anyway around the town itself, there are plenty of hunts around.
And were you put under any pressure in your area where you live after this happened by any hunt supporters?
Not really. I mean, we did get the usual kind of, you know, comments and a few messages from fake profiles, things like that. But nothing. I mean, like I am in a town, so I suppose, you know, it's different to somebody else in the middle of the countryside where nobody could be seen or anything like that. You know, I didn't feel threatened in any way. Now, we did install CCTV on the house when it happened, because we were other people had contacted us saying that, look, this is a very likelihood this could happen. So for our own protection, we did. But I haven't, not particularly. I mean, the majority of people are actually supportive of me, very supportive.
Niamh, what would you like to see happening in relation to blood sports in Ireland, like fox hunting?
Well, obviously, I'd love to see it banned. You know, like it's not a humane way for a fox to die. That poor fox, God knows how long he was running for his life before he was eventually, you know, caught. And you know, it was not a pretty sight. I mean, he was ripped apart, and he kind of took shelter under a stack of garden chairs that we had at the side of the house. And even at that, I mean, you know, the photographs tell it all. You know, you can't unsee them once they've been seen. It's just horrible. It's the same with hair coursing. You know, it's just I just can't see where people get their thrill from it at all.